So who better to judge the Wildflowers show than the Reeves? And they did a fabulous job. And they are here tonight. And I am just going to tell you that both of them are from Houston, but used to be on the board of the San Antonio Art League. So yes, and our connections run really deep. So they're partners with the Art League, and our heart is with them. Thank you again. And I want to say one thing about these generous people. They have just told us that they will get back their jurors to the International Cosmic Artists and the San Antonio Art League.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Okay,
we're
good.
looking through.
All right.
Linda and I have been at a conference all day, across town at the Witty Museum. I was just saying to one of your members that, actually the Davis competitions came up. The Art League, San Antonio Art League was a part of the discussion that we're having today, as a part of a couple of talks today. So your fame, precedes you, and whether or not, they're talking about you here, they're talking about you across town, or what you do. So that's funny.
Well, and anytime that those of us who are Texas art collectors and interested in Texas art, anytime we talk about collecting and our passion for that, we're always talking about the San Antonio Art League. And because so much of what happened, began to happen in Texas art in Texas started right here.
Well, we just want to say very quickly to particularly all of the artists who assembled here, how much of an honor it was for us to be able to view the magnificent work. There was a very strong, very strong, we felt, a very strong group of interest into this show. And we were extremely impressed with all of it. For us, it was a pleasant opportunity. Lynn and I, since we've retired, and also we got a gallery for which we sold, and we're retired for the third time, and now we're collaborating together. And so working together is really one of the wonderful things that we do enjoy nowadays. So this stuff was something we did together, but I have to tell you, you presented us with one of the more challenging kinds of experiences that we've had in life, just because, and we're very sincere of the strength of the entire field that was very about.
And I want to double that. We enjoyed working together, but this was very hard. Very hard to make choices. And it is such a delight to be able to be here and see these works in person.
You know, we were coming over, again, Lynn and I had this, the San Antonio Art League in the first place, a very special place to us. We kind of fancy ourselves as art historians, or at least students of Texas art history. And this place is the epicenter, the very beginning of art in our state. This was, I can't recall history not coming up in my mind. It's not the first art league. This is in the state of Texas. This is certainly one of the oldest art leagues and the longest continuing operating art leagues I would call in the state. Many of the earliest artists in Texas were residents of San Antonio, and this art league started as a place to support and encourage and promote the work of indigenous artists right here in this community, right here in the state. And of course, when 1927 came along and Mr. Davis hosted these wonderful competitions, which were national competition, and the prizes in those days, incidentally, were the largest cash prizes ever offered to that point in American art history. So it was an attractive draw, very incentivized. It very much incentivized artists who really wanted to come this way. So the San Antonio Art League has a special place, and I really, it's a legacy kind of establishment in terms of art history in our state. But the great part about any organization is not just what happened almost 100 years ago; it's what the people who are part of this organization today are doing to perpetuate that legacy. So we just want to say that board members, past, present, all the staff here, all the volunteers here that are part of that, how proud we are to be associated with the art community, how proud we are of the work that you're doing. We also want to say to everybody that's part of this magnificent group of encompassing artists that we were not acquainted with a particular society of encompassing artists that until this particular opportunity came available to us. But we can see, and we've been involved in a lot of different art operations over the course of the year. We can see that this is a quality outfit, and the people that are a part of the membership are very serious and very sincere about what they're doing. This is a magnificent art form. Lynn and I were talking about the fact that, we love art of all kinds. It really runs from the early impressionist work that you'll see here on the wall, to very abstract, very expressionist works. I mean, we really learned to appreciate, we think, over the course of 40 years, good art of kind. And there's such a magnificent array of works here, and the use of the encaustic media is something that is so value added. I mean, besides what you have to do with color and paint and composition and all that, the use of the encaustic media to be able to make these magnificent surface effects, these really toneless kind of qualities in there. Congratulations to you all of you working in that field that we just really celebrate. So thank you very much. In terms of judging this, the only thing I would say to you is, Linda and I, judging an art contest, it's like it's like curating an art show. And the bottom line is that it is a subjective kind of thing that really happens. Linda and I tried our best to kind of objectify this to the best of our ability by trying to create what we thought was a little bit of a set of standards or criteria. I hope you see that in the jury statement that we did offer. But having done that and then trying to apply that across, again, this array of material, we really hope we did you justice. And we really, because we were just blown away really by what we were part of. So, Linda, do you have any? That's all I have to say. I believe that's it.
I think we have pretty much made our statement. It is beautiful. Thank you for this opportunity to be a part of this particular exhibition.
Absolutely. You guys enjoy this, and congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way, the catalog, the jury statement, and all of the work with the artist statement is available right now online, and there are QR codes that you can look at them, and it will be available as a print catalog. Nobody's seen it yet, but you guys have seen the QR code. It'll be online after the opening tomorrow. So, the jury statement was wonderful. Thank you. It was fair, profound, and valuable for all of us. And as I said, this is a collaborative show. We are fortunate enough to have some members of the International Encaustic Board here, friends of ours, and I'd like to introduce Kay Burnett. She is both the Media Cast president of the IEA, and she has not one, but two pieces in this show. And Kay, come on up. I've asked some of the encaustic artists to talk for just a couple of minutes about their work. And after Kay talks, I'm going to ask Rhonda Ralston, who's also on the board. And these two not only have pieces in the show, but they have a good knowledge of this organization. I'm proud to be on the board with them, and it's one of the best groups I've ever worked with. So I'm going to ask them both to talk a little bit about IEA, and then talk just for a couple of minutes about their own work that you can see on the walls. Kay and Rhonda Ralston are
standing here. Well, first I want to thank the San Antonio Art League and Museum for allowing us to have the show here. This is a great space, it's a great show, and you've been very gracious. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank Lynn for coming up with the theme and working with both of the groups. It helps when she's vice president on one and now president on the other. And we really appreciate that. I also I have an announcement for all of the people who receive an award, either from IEA or from the jurors. Lynn and I are also co-editors of our art magazine, Wax Fusion. It's available, it's a digital magazine published online, and it's free to anyone who wants to come and see it. And in our next issue, which will be our fall issue, and it should come out December 1st. Normally we come out November 1st, but we've got another exhibition one included that one as well, and it has to happen. So we will have an article that will include all of the pieces that receive some kind of award in that magazine. So, and covering the show. So it's congratulations. Let's see. Well, here we are. I'm talking about my art. I was in the picture. So, well, okay. So I do something that some people call more realistic art. I can more with realism. Fire pockets is one of mine back here. And so, which is not the most usual style for a lot of encaustic art, but there is a wide range, and I also do encaustic sculpture. And I do that with my husband, Gary, who's here. We collaborate.
He's talking to my husband, please.
Yes. And so, but I've also been playing with different kinds of medium, like recycled stuff and so forth. So, I mean, the thing about encaustics is about, if you don't know, encaustic means to burn. So if you don't have some way of heating the wax, it's not encaustics. So you can use blow torches, you can do heat guns, you can do these little hot tools like people do, almost like gray leather or something. You pallets, the monochrome. The large painting on the other side of this wall is a one-piece monochrome, and that's unbelievable. It's like I talked to her to find out. I mean, Michelle and I were trying to figure out how she did it. So, it's one piece, and she lays it all out across a bunch of hot plates, and then you stand up on a ladder to let it dry.
One big hot plate.
One big hot plate. Okay. So, but there are so many different techniques here that are examples of what we do. And I encourage you to, look and see. And I would like to know if every artist that has a piece in here would raise their hand and hold it up a minute. Okay, all of you who don't have a piece in, please find these people. Okay? And talk to them about their work. Because I think you'll find every one of them have a different and wonderful story to tell. So, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Rhonda Ralston is kind of our tech jack of all trades. She keeps the International Plastic Artists sane. Both of these artists helped us hang the show. They're not just here for show. They were here for work as well. Rhonda's piece is upstairs. It's the wonderful folding book of herbal recipes, which is another very nice piece. Rhonda, thanks so much for being here.
You all, thank you so much. I have to thank, first of all, Lynn for coming up with the idea, then the San Antonio Art League for, collaborating on this. It is such a wonderful collaboration. And I want to thank all the volunteers you guys are here. I've been following the email chain about how this has gotten done. I'm really impressed. I want to thank the jurors. You guys, we the board picked awards as well, and looking at it from photos, it was so hard. And there were a couple of people that I kind of passed over that I shouldn't have because they didn't photograph as well as they look in person. So it's really challenging, and I really want to thank you guys. You did really good. In fact, a lot of our choices were your choices, and we're like, well, we can't do that. But
sure.
it was really, really, really well done. But I want to thank all of you. And as for exactly what Kay said, there is so much different kind of work, you guys. It's what I call the Google factor. I was an oil painter and did portraits and realistic, and it's a roadmap. You have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, right? And then, in fact, Chris said that we had the same discussion. Within caustic, you can set it on fire. You can put paper in it. You can do photo transfer. You can do so many things that it really explodes the creative possibilities. And even the, excuse my language, oh shit moments become, and you can move forward with that. It really opens up the creativity. So as Kate said, ask any of us and we'll try to help you figure out how to get what's done and do enjoy the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I love Ron's piece because it's such a wonderful fusion of family lore and history and caustic techniques. It's perfect for this Wildflower show, so thank you for that. According to the program, the Art League board members and artists are going to talk, and Claudia Langford is here. Claudia? She's going to talk about her two pieces. Can you come up and speak a couple words about it?
Okay.
Claudia is one of the artists who I admire because she does a really neat technique with photographic encaustic. Claudia is a past president of the San Antonio Art League, and she's a hard act to follow, so I'll let her talk.
I don't know about that. I just,
Could you back up just a little bit from cutting you off right before that?
I'm ready for my.
She's real shy.
Well, I use, photographs a lot with encaustic, and, well, I take a photograph and I manipulate it, maybe jazz up the color or just really blast it out. And then I glue it down and then I start coloring on top of it and putting caustic and then put more color on top of it and that's it. So, it's very simple.
Where is yours? Can you point it out for the group?
My pieces are back over there, back the next to last two on the wall.
Yellow flowers.
Yeah.
Yellow flowers.
Oh, yes, there's a yellow flowers and, I have to say, one I call wonderful wings. And, I have to add, a note to that. I thought they were wigs. I had a friend who was like, really knows flowers and she said, they're pretty, but they're just wigs. So, and then she found out later they're called widow's tears. And I went, oh, and I thought, but I had like made them colorful and bright, so I went, these are merry widows.
There we go.
I have a piece in the show as well, which is in the other room, but I get to talk a lot. And as president of the Art League, I don't have to talk if I don't want to. So I'm going to invite Stan Unser, whose blue bonnets are right there. Stan is a person whose work is a perfect example of mixed media and encaustic. So Stan, would you say a couple of words about how you did a wonderful piece?
And can you back up because you're so tall, so you did.
I'm Stan Unser. I'm excited into the show and even more excited to be accepted. I am a mixed media artist. So I couldn't just enter encaustic, they had to add some other things too. So my piece has some oil painting at the bottom and some copper paint with the patina on top of it. If you look at that drawing. So about 3/4 of it is encaustic, with other mediums. I do use images like I just heard. Photo transfers, and I learned a lot with this piece because I was trying to use extra organza and rice paper to put them in there, and I had a lot of shape movements because I burned off a lot of edges trying to bend those, and so you can actually see those on the painting because I said those look kind of nice, so I just stepped them on after burned up some more pieces, put the more effects on the back. So again, I was excited to be here, and that's what I got to say.
Thank you, Steve. I hope that you are getting the idea that encaustic artists are explorers, experimenters, and they're fearless. So, Lonnie, would you, since we have you here, we were just talking about Lonnie's piece, which is the large piece. She didn't know I was going to ask you to do this, but they're fascinated about your monitor. Could you come up and tell us a few words about that? Sure.
Well, first of all, am I?
Yes.
It's doing encaustic monotypes is probably the most fun I've ever had, except for figure painting. It is just the most fun. So, for anyone who doesn't know about it, I basically have a big
aluminum plate that I heat up and then do the whole painting, you know, complete painting on the plate, as the plate's the canvas, and then put the rice paper on, in this case it was monster paper, and then do a pull-off print. So that was a big one, so, a lot of times I'm standing on the chair to do things to it. It's a lot of fun, and I've been doing it maybe 15 years or so, but the beauty of it is that I like to print on the front, so you might see some depth in there. I like to print on the front, I print on the back, I print on the front, I draw on the front, you know, so I really try to get the most out of the plate and what I'm doing on there, and that makes it exploratory and fun for me, so, and that one, I just want to feel like I was in the Wildflowers and that they just keep on going. So I hope you do.
Well, see, and if you want to know more about Encaustic, there are some really good books, including one by my good friend Michelle Velto, who's written a wonderful book called The Wax and Paper Workshop that many of us consider our Bible when it comes to using encaustic on paper. So thanks, Michelle, for that. Michelle is also on the committee. The committee members from IDA and the Art League hold up their hands. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Vicki Fields. You can hardly miss her. She's the tall, elegant one there. She is our curator. She and Nancy Kemp curated the hanging and the placement of this show, and they did an absolutely remarkable job. So thank you, Vicki, for that. And we have two more quick things. After this, you can go back and watch the demonstrations. There are many small pieces for sale there that benefit the Art League. And I would like to announce the awards. These will be announced officially tomorrow at the public opening. You're invited to come back for that. But this is again a preview for you. And you can look around for these award winners as you go through. The Jurors Awards from the Reeveses: Mary Jo Reuter, After the Bloom, Melissa Stevens, Dear Della, and Michelle Randall, Hazel and Chris, which is one of my personal favorites. The IDA Board Awards of Excellence: France Benoit, Croquet Le Ciel, this one. Carol Levelett, The Maymoor Park Queen Anne's Lace, which is the one you saw on the postcard. I just love that one. And then Lonnie, Feels of Spring. Lonnie just spoke to you about this. The Art League President's Award is Joan Stolpen for Beautiful Blossoms, back in the back. And the IEA President's Award, Regina Quinn, a wonderful and classic artist, is the current president. She couldn't be with us tonight. She lives in New York, and it's kind of a long way for her to come. But she chose Susan Harrison's Vanity Free, which is next to Lonnie's over there. So congratulations to all these awards.